Fast food workers. What is your sir? This is a Wendy's apostrophe moment. One time this older dude rushes up to order and slams a coupon on the counter saying I want this. I pick it up, it has menu items for KFC. I ask him what exactly would you like to order? He instantly gets disgruntled with me for not reading his goddamn mind and shakes his finger at the coupon and said well whatever is on the coupon. Obviously, in a condescending tone. I just look at him for a minute and say word for word sir, this is McDonald's. I don't know what you want me to do with this KFC coupon. He looks at me dumbfounded, then looks behind me at the menu and around the store, yells AWH. Shit, like this isn't his first time walking into the wrong establishment. Grabs the coupon and storms off. My father-in-law had a weird thing about using coupons. Even when it would have been cheaper, nobody wanted the thing he had a coupon for. Eventually I figured out he couldn't see the menu board. Same reason he wouldn't use drive-thrus. He did exactly that. Give the cashier the coupon and say I'll have this back quote. A lot of bizarre behavior can be traced back to trying to save face in some way. You don't have tables? Nope. I'll just have the general chicken. This is a Pizza Hut. Fine. Just a few egg rolls. How about a pizza? Why would I order pizza at a Chinese restaurant? You're right. That would be stupid. My son is now 33. When he was a kid, he would force us to take him to an ethnic restaurant of his choice, but always order pizza. No wonder psychiatrists keep busy. I worked at a liquor store a few years back. One day a man walks in and puts 2 bottles of whiskey down. And as I'm scanning the bottles I make the usual small talk. How's your night going? The man took a deep breath and looked me in the eyes and says well, I just walked in on my 14-year-old son completely naked video chatting a fucking middle-aged man. So it could be a lot better. I didn't quite know what to say. So I told him oh, that's not good. Enjoy your drinks. Apostrophe. That is a completely adequate and fairly considerate response. You can always tell those of us who worked customer service jobs by our ability to come up with something neutral and harmless to say to absolutely anything. Dude came to drive-thru. I opened the window. Sir, how can I help you? I'm out at checks. He replies calmly, not sure I follow you. I say, I'm out at checks. He says again more impatiently, right, I heard you, but I don't know what you want me to do about it. You can pay with cash or card too. Dude gives me a weird look then says, oh this ain't the bank, and peels out away from the window. I'm a pharmacist. Someone at that drive-thru is dealing and taking checks. More likely this is a passphrase. There was a guy dealing out of the McDonald's near where I used to work, and you had to order some weird combination of things to get your drugs. 100% accurate. One of my best friends used to sell cannabis from a drive-thru. If people ordered the X special, X equals CUR, month, with a large drink, the drink cup held the weed. You should look into this more. Mr. or Ms. Pharmacist. I worked at a Chipotle for 4 years and got some pretty interesting requests. But I'll never forget the time someone ordered soup. Chipotle doesn't have soup. I promptly reminded her this was a Chipotle, but she insisted we could do it. So we made her soup at Chipotle. It was the grossest concoction of bean juice, sophronitis, mild, medium and hot salsa, and sour cream. She was stoked. Lady, you're too high. I worked at the concession stand at a movie theater in high school. This guy orders a popcorn and large diet Pepsi, comes back to the counter like 10 minutes later complaining that his soda is carbonated. I explained to him that all of our sodas are carbonated, and he asks me if we had a microwave. We did. So he wants me go into the back and microwave his soda. He wants it warm, but not too warm. Went to the back and had to pour the soda into 2 different cups because the original wouldn't fit into the microwave. Truly bizarre experience. I don't drink anything carbonated, but this is the first time I've heard that microwaving gets rid of the carbonated part. So is it just sugar water left? CO2 dissolves better when it's cold, so warming up a soda does make it go flat. Y'all wouldn't believe the amount of disappointed rich people who come to Panda Express and find out we aren't serving authentic Chinese food. Once a well-traveled rich woman came into Panda Express and stood at the buffet line for about 10 minutes, critiquing our mistakes and explaining how Chinese cuisine doesn't actually have fried wontons with cream cheese filling. Ma'am, we just fry what came in the bag from a warehouse in California. This isn't how real Italians make pizza. Ma'am, you're at a fucking Chuck E. Cheese. Apostrophe. Our mascot is a fucking rat. Come on down to Cholzarad's discount pizzeria and child casino. Sometimes we even use disinfectant on the tables. Worked at McDonald's. We would always get people that would ask for a Whopper burger, either seriously or trying to be funny. Cue the exhausted "we don't sell Whoppers sir/ma'am. We have the Big Mac." In response, usually we get an "oh, right, okay, one of those." Until one day we had a guy come through drive-thru that asked for a large Whopper meal, and instant reply back, "Sir, we don't sell Whoppers here. We have Big Macs or quarter pounders or McChickens." He replied, "No, I don't want that. I want a Whopper." Me, "Sir, we don't sell those. This is a McDonald's. The closest equivalent would be a Big Mac, but it's not a Whopper. If you want an actual Whopper burger you need to go to Hungry Jack's, Burger King." Reply, ref, at, seeking Whopper meal. Me, "Okay sir, I can't give you a Whopper meal here, but I can order a Big Mac meal for you. The Big Mac is the closest equivalent we have, but it is not a Whopper. Are you happy with a large Big Mac meal instead?" Him, "Yes." Was that so hard? We give him a large Big Mac meal, and sure enough 10 minutes later he is back through the drive-thru screaming into the speaker that he hasn't gotten his Whopper burger. Edit, to address the Big Mac isn't the equivalent comments. At the time, I was just thinking he was ordering the standard signature burger from the menu, of which the Whopper is the signature burger of Hungry Jack's, and the Big Mac is the signature burger of McDonald's. It didn't cross my mind to think of quarter pounders as closer to the actual Whopper burger, because, well, to a teenager making minimum wage I'm not going through the list options that could be the possible equivalent. All I could do was explain we don't have Whoppers at McDonald's. Here is what we sell. You don't want to listen, fine. Are you happy with X alternative instead? You said yes? Great. Take your burger and pee off. Some people have pointed out the McFeast and Quarter Pounder Deluxes as nearly the same burger to the Whopper. When I worked at McDonald's, which was 8 years ago, QPD weren't a thing. Never heard of it to this day actually. I don't eat at Macca's much, and the McFeast at the time was a limited edition menu item. It came and went seasonally. I believe now it's a standard menu item, but at the time it wasn't always available and certainly not when this incident occurred. And yes, I'm from Australia. Burger King is known as Hungry Jack's here, because when Back first arrived to Australia there was already a small chain of locally owned burger restaurants in Sydney called Burger King. Till Back is Hungry Jack's in Australia. But why though? When Back first got to Australia the name was already taken. 20 years later, when it was free again, that franchise fought for keeping the name. Wow. When Back first came to India, they sued all the tiny family-owned restaurants and street vendor pushcats that had unknowingly used the name Burger King for decades before. I worked at a pizza place, and I got a complaint that we delivered sushi. It was a pepperoni pizza, but he could not be convinced. Drugs are a hell of a drug. I worked at Dunkin', and one time a customer came through the drive-thru and complained to us that the drive-thru was built in a way that made it hard to drive. She started yelling at my co-workers, so I just put down what I was doing and told her, "Ma'am, we cannot change the construction of the building." Like seriously though, what did she want us to do? I just make sandwiches. I work for an HVAC distributor. Of course during COVID production has been low, so we were out many important parts. Had so many people call me and yell at me saying they needed this tomorrow. Dude, do you honestly want me to make the thing? We don't have it. F off. Yes. Been having this in engineering too. The factories worldwide have been closed. The part we need is waiting on people reopening those factories. No amount of yelling at me in Texas will get the factory in China or Slovenia to reopen, so please listen, and we'll get you the part when everyone stops dying. Your Walmart will wait to be built until after the materials are available. Thank you. I used to work at Target and they hired a new girl who had previously worked at Walmart to work the fitting rooms and by default the intercom system. A few days after she started she was about to make an announcement over the intercom and I guess habit took over because she started the announcement with "Attention Walmart shoppers." She realized her mistake and made a good recovery with "You are in the wrong store." She is a genius. That's the type of coworker that makes my life bearable. One of my bosses witnessed a coworker telling a customer to F off after he was unsettling him needlessly. I love my job. We are all effing crazy.